Well, it's our second installment of our Guilty Pleasure movies, entitled Best Worst Movies. I'm here today to talk about Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
So I'm gonna talk about Hocus Pocus.
I'm gonna talk about Cobra.
I'm excited. Liz, I think you need to start us off.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun is based off of the song.
The Cyndi Lauper song.
Yes, and you would think, oh, well, wouldn't this Cyndi Lauper version be in the movie?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, explain to me why.
Is there a version of the song in the
There's
movie?
a version of it. They couldn't get the original song because of rights issues.
Oh.
Makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of people think that Girls Just Want to Have Fun is a ripoff of other dance musicals from the 80s, like Footloose and Flashdance.
Yeah, those came out like pretty close to it, right? Like a year or two
before, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But I love it because I love 80s makeup, I love 80s hair, I love 80s lighting and synthesizer. I'm a big fan of 80s dance musicals. Well, Girls Just Want to Have Fun features Sarah Jessica Parker, Jonathan Silverman, Helen Hunt, and a tiny little Shannon Doherty, and she's adorable. So Girls Just Want to Have Fun is about Sarah Jessica Parker's character moving to a town near Chicago, and within a week of her moving there, she finds a new best friend, and she auditions for her favorite television program, Dance TV. And of course, there's a love story involved. But when I was rewatching this film, because I never watched it with a critical eye, I realized there's a lot wrong with it. I think the most common complaint of this film is that it just feels like a ripoff. It's an 80s dance musical, but they don't really invest a lot of time into character or story. You know, there are antagonists that are incredibly cartoonish, like the rival dancer in the dance TV competition is a perfect-looking girl who has an automatic electronic closet, and her father is like the archetype for a cranky, rich old white man, and so it's just very cartoonish and goofy.
I can't believe that in 2 weeks I'm gonna be dancing on DTV. I bet I get hit by a car.
What?
No, things are going too well. I mean, besides DTV, I have a best friend. And I mean, I never dreamed in a million years that I would have a boyfriend.
And the most enjoyable part of it is watching Sarah Jessica Parker with her perky, bubbly, post-square peg self. And it makes this film very enjoyable.
Yeah, no, Sarah Jessica Parker actually happens to be in Hocus Pocus as well. Hocus Pocus is a 1993 film starring Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker. They play the Sanderson sisters, Winifred, Mary, and Sarah. It's a very campy, ridiculous movie. The plot is sort of silly. You know, you've got this kid named Max and his sister, and they meet a girl that Max likes, and she tells him how the Sanderson sisters are real and that they should go to the house that they lived in, and one thing leads to another, and the Sanderson sisters are resurrected for this one night on Halloween only, and they are trying to become young and beautiful forever by sucking the lives out of children. So in this scene in the beginning of the movie, they set it up very succinctly. I mean, there's maybe 10 minutes where you get to understand that they all want to be young and that they're all evil, but you find out that Bette Midler is sort of in charge and Kathy Najimy and Sarah Jessica Parker are her lackeys, and that Kathy Najimy is weird and Sarah Jessica Parker is slutty.
Hey, Buttercup, anybody ever tell you you're very easy on the eyes?
Their interactions with one another and their exaggerated characteristics aren't unwarranted. You know, you saw them and you're like, okay, they were this way 300 years ago, so they're probably going to be the same way now. Plus, you throw them into, 1993, they've been dead for 300 years, and that's got its own set of hilarious circumstances that come along with it. And I know that I'm making this movie sound like it's the best movie ever.
Sounds amazing.
But it's not. It does this weird thing where it tries to be like half Sister Act and half Jurassic Park. You've got these three women, that trying to be funny and quirky or whatever, but then you've got big, huge action scenes that are just kind of over the top and crazy, and explosions and witches flying and cackle, like really loud cackles and things like that. And it tries too hard to be two really completely different things, I think.
Wait a minute. Sarah Jessica Parker is in your movie.
Yes.
And Sarah Jessica Parker is in your movie.
She just wants to dance.
Guess what?
She's
Sarah Jessica Parker is not in Cobra, no. But it
That
might
is
have made
shocking.
it might have made for an interesting movie. And I think one of the things that makes it so bad that it's good is this strange disconnect between what it wants to be and how it's executed that it's deliciously entertaining. And let me explain.
Yeah, you need to.
It wants to be Dirty Harry. So the picture starts out with this voiceover by Sylvester Stallone telling you all the crime statistics in America at the time. There's, a murder every 24 minutes and 250 rapes a day. And then he, it wants to politicize the way Dirty Harry did criminals and and the rights of criminals when they get apprehended by the police.
Okay.
And then it features some of the silliest but greatest dialogue of all time. There's a scene toward the beginning of the movie where a cult member goes into a grocery store and starts shooting a shotgun, mostly at produce, at which point the police say, "Call the Cobra." So in comes Sylvester Stallone in his great car, a 1950 Mercury Monterey, which has a license plate that says Awesome 50.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
It's true.
He steps out and confronts this shotgun maniac.
Come on, man. I got a bomb here. I'll kill her. I'll blow this whole place up.
Go ahead. I don't shot her.
Because it's okay if he doesn't shop there.
Right,
You get
of
it?
course.
Blow it up. I
That
don't
makes
care.
perfect sense.
The villain in this piece wears pantyhose over his head when he kills people. And in the final confrontation, which takes place at some sort of strange steel mill on the outskirts of this very small town, he faces down Marion Cobretti, that's the Stallone character,
Okay.
and calls him pig, what seems like 30 times.
Let's bleed, pig. I'm pig. Oh, you pig. I want your eyes, pig.
So the acting, I mean, if you like Sylvester Stallone, you'll like Sylvester Stallone in this picture. It's not an interesting drama like Rocky, nor is it sort of introspective the way some of the better Rambo pictures are, but it's a stoic action hero of the 1980s. If you like those movies, hey, Cobra's great. There's also a lot of Pepsi advertisements in this movie, so I guess Pepsi really liked them. Also, during the, of course, shotgun scene in the grocery store, Cobretti also stops and drinks a Coors because he can.
Despite everything I've said, a lot of people enjoy Hocus Pocus, pretty much because of its ridiculousness, and that's why I enjoy it too. It's not a good movie, but it is a fun one, so I'm gonna say see it.
I really just want Sarah Jessica Parker to dance, and she's not going to dance unless you see this movie. So I say you check out Girls Just Want to Have Fun. See it.
If you have a disease that requires you to watch movies so bad they're good, Cobra is the cure. See it.
To Best Horse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yo.
Clean up your act.